What's up, everybody? Byron here from ETA. We're coming to you from the living room. Why are we coming to you from the living room? Because I don't have enough space at my desk. Check this out. You're here for an unboxing, right? So we're going to give you an unboxing. Check it out. There's the box. And there's what came out of it. That is everything that comes with the B-One Hercules. Sorry if you were expecting Daniel Kwan or one of the other guys that has amazing production quality. I'm not that guy. I have a full-time job. Unfortunately, it's not as a YouTuber. So we're going to break this down for you, and I'm going to give you, because nobody sent me this board. I bought this board. This is my own money here. So if I've made a mistake, I've made a horrific mistake, but I really don't feel I have. Alrighty, so I'm doing my very best to get a good, reasonable camera angle here, because as you can see, this board is massive. We're going to get the charger knocked out first because it's in my way. So this is a 50.4 volt 5 amp charger. While I'm on this point in the review, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there, and this is not just for B-One boards, but this is for other e-skate manufacturers. As an aircraft guy, I really like to see cannon plugs. So if you guys can get a socket with a screw-on charging cable, that would be awesome. So that way we could have a hard aluminum or plastic charging port cover. And that'll just make it so that, you know, dust, debris, and crap doesn't get in there. That's all. Just wanted to throw that out there. That is definitely a way to improve it. And I'll get to the charging port when we get to the bottom part. Now this is a 2-in-1. So it came with some pretty sweet looking Discovery 120 cloud wheels. Just one thing I want to note about these, I see what some people are talking about in their different reviews now that I actually have it in my hand. First off, this thing is freaking enormous. Second, it is a domed contact patch. So there's more contact in the center than there are on the sides. However, I expect as these wear in that it's going to have a more unified wear pattern. These are the rear ones. They come with the pulleys. You can put a front one on the back and a back one on the front. So you can actually rotate your tires. These are the belts that are used with the cloud wheels. Whenever you change your wheels, you have to change your belts. Maybe it's a bigger belt, maybe it's a smaller belt, maybe it's a bigger pulley, whatever. It came with 4 belts, which I think is really cool because I'm going to be putting some mileage on this. For those of you who don't know, and I don't know why any of you would because I haven't discussed it yet. Silly me. I am starting Project Move It next year. The whole point is to encourage people to move 2,000 kilometers in the next year. I intend to do that primarily by e-skating, walking, jogging, and some swimming. However you do it, I don't care. If you would like to participate, I'm going to have the website up here hopefully shortly. And we're going to switch over to a dedicated YouTube channel for Project Move It. The whole point of this is because I see people that are sitting around these last 2 years. We've all been cooped up. We've been locked up with COVID. Now we've got, what is it, Omicron or whatever the latest variant is. And people have not been going outside and they haven't been getting exercise. So this is something that you can do while being safe, being socially distant, and still maintain your health. For those who don't know, riding an e-skateboard is more than just standing on it. You are actually losing weight while you're doing it. You get some cool little reflectors, some hex keys, and you get some additional bushings, which I think is really cool because these, I believe, are a slightly harder durometer than what's installed on the board. You get this, which this is your mount. for the included light. I mean, seriously, this thing is bright. And they included it. There's your dim. Guaranteed to induce seizures. And then you have a low kind of amber color. Not really sure what you would use that for. But this is a very useful flashlight. If you have a look, oh, and there is a battery indicator on the top. There's 4 LEDs that'll show you. You can pop it on and pop it off whenever you need to charge it, but the mount itself, I'm pretty much going to leave on the board full time. So I know this sounds stupid, but I want a clear cut. So if I'm only halfway looking at my feet while I'm getting on and off the board, I know that this is the front. This is like a Claymore mine, okay? Front towards the enemy. You never want to read the words front towards the enemy when you're behind the Claymore. Byron's tip. So it mounts up here. You can see it's got really nice finished hardware. It's got these washers that are tapered, which are really cool. And it helps to spread out the load because this is a carbon fiber deck. Standard hobby wing controller. It's got a couple of extra features built in that we're going to discuss on the back end of this. Yeah, the little grip tape plugs. So, start talking about the grip tape. This is some thick boy grip tape. This is a little plug of it. It goes over the screws. So, comes with an air pump. However, there is no gauge. So, you're going to need something like this other tool that I'm going to show you in a bit. And you have the motor guards for use with the cloud wheels. You have your standard instrument of destruction, aka the skate tool. I've chosen just to add some really handy foldable hex tools. Using a Q-tip soaked in isopropyl alcohol will ensure that Loctite will properly adhere to your bolts, and that means your hardware doesn't come loose on you while you're riding it, because that sucks, man. So now this is fresh out of the box. I literally haven't done anything other than stand up on it. But, I haven't actually ridden it yet. And before I go ride this thing up, and I'm gonna do an inspection, and you guys get to watch. I have not had this panel off. The only thing that I did to prep for this video is I popped these little grip tape plugs out. So, one size down. So it looks like these are 2.5. I want to show you guys the build quality so that you know what to expect if you order from B-One Boards. Every time I've spoken to the guys at B-One Boards, they're prompt, they're thorough. They even answered a question on a Sunday, which they're not even working that day, but they were still able to get me an answer in a reasonable amount of time. So kudos to their customer service team. They have a really good customer service. It does appear as though they've used some type of thread sealant on this. So that's a good thing. I'm gonna make sure to put some back on there. This one was actually a little bit loose. And you know, that's why we do these checks, right? All right, so there we go. And as you can see, this thick boy grip tape, I'm just gonna get a razor and run it right there. Of course I thought ahead and brought a razor. Through the magic of editing, this razor just appeared in my hand. Woohoo! And we're even gonna try to keep it in a straight line. I wanna buy some for that bad boy. This shit is nice and thick. Okay, so now we're just gonna be nice and gentle. And there we go. So here we have the board. This little pass through, in case you guys are curious, is for your remote connection, because carbon fiber makes a horrible radio transmitter. So we're going to make sure that this thread doesn't have an issue and that there's no problems with the hardware. And there isn't. Okay, it just wasn't tightened. So, all right, well, we're going to address that. So I'm going to pull you off of the tripod in 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is the integrated brake light, and this is really cool. It's already wired and all that stuff. So check this bad boy out. You can see it's got a nice layer of epoxy over it. Zoom in slightly. Okay. Really good quality connectors, really nice job with the sealant. You can see here, cable management is what I consider to be quite acceptable. So I'm very happy. See, it's got a nice gasket, Li-ion battery pack, rechargeable, product model 12SP. I don't know what the SCO term 48 is. I'm not going to try. Capacity 19.2 amp hours, 829.44 watt hours. Standard voltage is 43.2 volts. Production date is October 11th, 2021. It is the 21700 cells. Manufactured by Jingnu New Energy Company Ltd. You can see how they've taken the time to put a nice gasket here. They've done a really nice job of it. And I am unwilling to take it apart further than this. So we'll put you back on the tripod. So one of the things that I've done is trim out the grip tape a little bit better so that this very, very, very tight fitting panel is better aligned. This grip tape is some thick boy stuff. But my suggestion to them on the assembly line, as you guys are building it, apply the grip tape afterwards, because I can see where, as you're building up the board, you might have to fight it. Never used Loctite in your life. Where does the thread engage? Does it engage here or does it engage there? That engagement area is where you put your drop of Loctite. That is all it takes. It doesn't take a whole lot. So all I'm doing right now is running everything down to not even really hand tight. You're just bringing it down to where it will stop moving and start building tension. E-skate manufacturers, give us torque specs. Seriously. In your manuals, give us torque specs. You can change out, it's got a little core that's machined on the inside of this wheel, so you can swap out some trample wheels on here if that's what you want to do with minimal effort. Get you one of these bad boys, or any one that you so choose. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. But this is rechargeable and very, very fast. And from what I can tell, it's fairly accurate. I think B-One, if you guys are paying attention to this, and I hope you are, my suggestion would be, instead of using recessed head screws, put a washer in here. Just kind of like what you did here and here with these gold washers, right? It's more than just an accent. It spreads the load out, and just maybe make the hardware a slight little bit longer. You'll have a better longevity of your product. So that's another thing that I would improve upon. Just remember, guys, don't gorilla torque this. I'm gonna have to deal with that. I know the threads are there. I think it's just maybe slightly offset. See if we can get it to go. Alrighty, so here we are again. And I just want to highlight the problem. So right in here, there's an insert that's molded into the carbon fiber. And this insert is physically lower than it is on these others. So there's two solutions to this if you happen to buy this board and run into this problem. These are M4 by 10 millimeter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some 15 millimeter screws because that's a little bit less than 5 millimeters. And that'll make up the difference. So that's going to give me enough to compensate for the width of the washer, or the thickness of the washer, as well as these holes. And what that's going to net is a board that sits flush with the rest of the deck. Maybe you don't even know to look for stuff like that. So cool. Taught y'all something, YouTube. Overall, this is still a great buy, and this is still a great board. This is not anything that's, you know, we're not getting to kill people shit. We're not even getting into dangerous stuff. But this is something that if you're gonna join this sport, you should go into with your eyes open, right? Not everything is gonna be perfect. Alrighty, so now we've got the top done and we're down here on the bottom. There's a space under this panel here to install an additional ESC and motor controllers. So when they do release the 4x4 upgrade, you just change the truck, mount your motors, pop your ESC here, and there you go. I don't feel the need to take this apart on this side, by the way. I'm just gonna give it a little check on the tightness. But beyond that, I don't feel the need to open this panel because we've already inspected the top of it. So the charging port is here, and it's this little silicone looking flappy thing. If this were replaced with a screw-on type power connector and a metal dust cap, yeah, it would protrude out of the bottom a little bit more, but I think it would be a better quality product overall. Gone through the board. I'm very happy with everything that I've seen. And as my project kicks off, my goal is to go 2,000 kilometers by May of next year on skateboard, walk, run, crawl, etc. For those of you who are curious, it's going to be called Project Move It. This is a great board. I'm very happy with it. So y'all have a great rest of your night. We'll be back tomorrow.